Please, sit down.
What would you do if you finished a model at 2 a.m. and discovered your entire company was about to evaporate before breakfast? A senior trader tells the junior analyst Seth to keep his head down and ignore it, but the march reaches Eric Dale, a risk management veteran with 19 years at the firm. The escort walks him out, but Eric has one last move. He hands a USB drive to his protégé Peter Sullivan with 2 words: be careful. Remember that drive. Everything in the next 24 hours traces back to this handoff. The floor boss Sam Rogers stands amid the empty desks, short on nicotine and patience because his dog is dying back home. He gathers the 33 survivors and tells them this is their opportunity. Hours later, the survivors drift out for drinks, but Peter stays behind, still thinking about Eric's warning. Eric had been testing the firm's risk model for volatility outside the normal range. Peter finished the work, and the result is staggering. If the market shifts, the losses exceed the entire value of the company.
Side of the standard VAR model.
What are those levels?
It's fairly complicated. Volatility levels are set using historic patterns, basically, and then stretch.
All right, so?
So we are starting to test.
The firm is walking on a fault line, and the ground is already cracking. Will tries to reach Eric, but his phone is dead. Eric never went home, so the one person who understands this model is unreachable. Will sends juniors to track Eric down, then wakes Sam at 11 p.m. When Will refuses to email the data, Sam drives in without asking another question. The senior executive Jared Cohen is already piecing together the chain. Eric handed the drive to Peter. Peter found the flaw, and nobody can find Eric. He calls Sam back, and the trickle is about to become a flood. Peter walks Sam through the model, and the picture gets worse with every line. The firm's strategy relies on historical volatility limits, but they have been breaking through those limits for days. One bad day flips the math from profit to total collapse. Sam asks if the number is real, because if it is, the firm does not have a week, it has hours. Jared demands a formal review, so the people upstairs are about to learn what Peter found. But Eric Dale is still out there, and the firm wants him found.
Whoa, is that?
Yeah, and that would not be a bad thing.
Is that figure right?
I don't know, I can't be sure.
Where's Eric?
Yeah, so I called his wife, he says he's not home.
Yeah, he's probably crying.
Seth and Peter speculate about what senior executives make, because if Will pulls in $2.5 million, the numbers above him must be astronomical. A firm car intercepts them. Peter is about to present to the people who sign the checks. The room goes quiet as everyone checks the math. The silence confirms what nobody wants to say. The formula checks out. Jared asks how long to clear the toxic assets. Sam says weeks, but weeks are a luxury they do not have. Jared clears the juniors, so the senior team can talk strategy. A new figure arrives, Sam's boss, who looks impossibly young for his power. Jared pushes a plan. Sam considers financial suicide. Sam refuses, but Jared insists the numbers do not add up, and the clock is running.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Oh, it happens. Except to me. Kid's a fucking killer.
Jared gives them 45 minutes to verify, then calls the CEO, John Tuld. While they wait, Will takes Peter to the roof. Peter stands near the edge, making Will nervous. Will says the fear people feel at the edge is not the fear of falling, it is the fear they might jump. Peter steps back with a grin. Will reveals what is coming. The firm will make them dump the toxic assets, and the firm never loses, even if everyone else does. Sarah confirms the model is correct. The formula is broken, and $8 trillion worldwide relies on that equation. She reminds the room she raised the warning a year ago and was ignored. Therefore, this was not her failure, it was the firm's. There is no contingency plan. The firm went all in, and now they are exposed. Tuld's helicopter lands. Sam tells everyone to speak plain truth, because nobody in that room is smart enough to fool John Tuld. Tuld asks someone to explain the problem, like speaking to a young child or a golden retriever.
I don't know, you sure you want all of us?
Yes. One piece before we go in there. This could get a little ugly. But whatever you do.
Peter walks through it. The firm holds mortgage products that require them to hold assets far longer than is safe. The leverage pushed past every red flag without raising any, because the risk was buried inside the products themselves. Tuld asks what the model means for the firm. Peter delivers the number. If the assets drop by just 25%, the loss exceeds the entire market value of the company. Tuld asks for the plan. Jared lays it out. There are 3 ways to survive. Be first, be smarter, or cheat. Sam lays out the plan. Call the traders in. offer a huge bonus to hit 93% of targets, and come out storming. They have until 11 a.m. to clear the books, because by lunchtime the word will be out, and by 2 p.m. the buyers will be gone. Sam raises the one objection nobody wants. They would be selling something they know has no value to people they have sold to for years.
No nothing. 40% done by 10:15. By 11, because by lunchtime, word's going to be out, and by $2 if you're lucky. And then the feds are going to be in here, up your ass.
Told does not flinch. They sell to willing buyers at a fair price so the firm may survive, even if those buyers never do business with them again. Sam pushes back, but Told shuts him down. The decision is made. Told orders Eric found before 6 a.m. No loose ends. Told takes Sam aside for a private walk. Sam admits this is ugly and says he does not think he can do it. Told reminds him they are salesmen, they sell, and tomorrow they are done. He calls this the big one and warns most of the street will not make it out. But being first out the door is not panicking, it is surviving. Sam warns the move could
Monetizing your movie content has never been easier. Upload your video, get a full recap and 10 shorts. Viralcade, link in the comments.
destroy the firm's reputation forever. Told tells him to let that be his problem. A call comes in from Eric's wife. He is home, but he refuses to speak to the firm. Will and Peter are sent to Brooklyn to collect him before dawn. Meanwhile, Jared tells Sarah the firm needs a head to feed the board, and it is going to be her. She reminded them she sent warnings a year ago, but Jared tells her not to fight it. She's being made the scapegoat for a disaster the entire firm created.
Till today.
Really?
You'll see.
Want anything else? Remember, I could use some real air.
Jared pulls Will aside about Sam, because there is a real chance Sam refuses to go through with the sale. He needs to know Will step up and lead the floor himself. Will confirms he and Sam share the same sense of what is right, a polite way of saying he will do what the firm needs, no matter what Sam decides. Will and Peter arrive at Eric's new house, a beautiful home bought with money from the firm that just threw him out. Peter tells him the model is finished, and the firm is about to liquidate everything based on his work. Eric has signed his exit papers and wants nothing to do with it. Will warns that refusing means the firm will fight him on every penny of his severance and healthcare for 2 years. Then Eric tells them something nobody expected. Before finance, he was an engineer. He once built a bridge over the Ohio River that still saves people 531 years of combined driving time every single year. Eric does the math out loud. 22 years of service, 100 people a day, 6 billion miles not driven, 531 human lifetimes saved from sitting in a car. That bridge is real. It matters. And nothing he has done in 19 years at this firm comes close to that kind of meaning. The number on the screen is just a number. The bridge is real. And that is what Eric cannot stop thinking about as the firm begs him to come back and help them unload the garbage he discovered.
For $25,400,000 and $304 million a year saved. Now,
Peter and Will leave without him, but outside, a firm car is waiting. Will tells Eric to take the money and come back, otherwise the firm will drag him through years of legal hell. Eric relents because fighting a firm with this much power is a battle he cannot win. Will tells Seth the truth. He is almost definitely getting fired today because young guys are always the first to go. Seth says this is going to affect real people, which makes Will laugh because the people Seth is worried about are people like Will, not the ordinary workers Seth imagines. Will argues that people want to live in big houses they cannot pay for, and the only reason they can is because people like Will keep their fingers on the scale. If they are right, the world calls them reckless, but if they are wrong, the same people laugh at them for being cowards. Seth asks if Will thinks they are going to be wrong. Will admits he has no idea.
Then you're necessary. The only reason that they all get to continue on the scales in their favor. I take my hand off. Really fucking fair, really fucking quickly, and nobody actually wants that. They say
Before the market opens, Sam steps outside for a cigarette with Peter. Sam mentions his son, and Peter recognizes the name. Sam tells Peter the truth. After today, most of the floor will be gone, and even Sam is likely to face the axe once the sale is done. Sam has not called his son, and Peter does not push him. Peter asks if Sam has ever done anything like this before. Sam says never. Peter asks if it is the right thing to do. Sam turns it back, right for whom? Neither has an answer, which is the most honest moment of the night. Eric explains he was threatened with 2 years of legal warfare over his severance, or he could come back and make over $176,000 an hour to sit quietly. He could not see much of a choice. Sam tries to tell him his original warning was passed along, but Eric stops him. There was nothing anyone could have done, because at the time it did not seem like there was a choice. And as Eric says, it never does. Every terrible decision in this building comes wrapped in the language of necessity. The traders gather for the morning meeting, and Sam stands in front of them, knowing this is the last time this floor will exist as it does right now. He tells them the party is over. The firm is liquidating its position today, and they are the ones who have to pull the trigger.
Bad, and I wish I could say that today's going to be less so, but that isn't going to be the case. This statement to you all here, but why don't you just read it on your own time, and I'll just tell you what the fuck's going on. I've been here all night. Meeting.
He does not hide the consequence. This sale will destroy their relationships and their careers. Then he offers the bribe, hit 93% of the target, and each trader gets a $4 million bonus with another $3 million if the floor as a whole hits the mark. The first 90 minutes are everything. He admits this is not the way anyone wanted it, but there is no other way out. If they succeed today, they will have succeeded in destroying their own jobs. Then he sends them to the phones. Nobody on the other end of those calls is having a good morning either. The buyers start to sense something is very wrong. Sam watches the numbers and pushes for more, even as a single trade loses $100 million, because the alternative is losing everything. By mid-morning, the floor is moving assets at a pace nobody has ever seen, and the word is leaking out. Will tells Peter the firings are next. After the market settles, Told summons Sam for the final conversation. Told thanks him, but Sam is not there for compliments. He wants out. He demands his bonus, his options, and his freedom, because after what he just did to his own traders, he cannot stomach another day. Told tells him he will get everything, but he needs Sam to stay for 24 months to keep a calm face while the dust settles. Told tells him to stop feeling sorry for himself. They may have put people out of business today, but Sam has been doing that every day for 40 years. Then Told lists the crashes: 1,637, 1,797, 1,819, 1907, 1929, 1987, 2000, the same thing over and over. They cannot help themselves. They get rich if they guess right, and they get ruined if they guess wrong. The percentage of winners and losers has never changed. It will never change. The music never stops. It just plays for someone else. The film closes in the early morning light outside Sam's ex-wife's house, where he has brought his dying dog to the front yard because she belongs here, even though he does not live here anymore. His ex-wife tells him their son called, the son he never reached out to, and he got through the day. Sam walks back to his car alone, the dog stays behind, and the firm goes on without him, because the music never really stops, it just finds someone else to play it.